I knew this sister. This sister ended up marrying an elder that was 15 to 20 years older than her. I forgot the exact amount, but I know it was a huge age gap. She was in her late teens at the time when she got married, but one thing that the brothers didn't know was that she was sleeping with my next door neighbor. My neighbor happened to be a regular publisher, not baptized or anything, just a regular publisher. And he also happened to be best friends with my brother at the time because they were all around the same age. That's the reason why we know this. So she banged him, she slept with him, even after she got married, even during the time she was dating this elder. She was doing the things that she was doing. And as time went by, we saw her progress more in the congregation. She got married to an elder now, and now she's at the top of the line where a woman should be in the organization, quote. So she was a regular pioneer. She was married with an elder. Everything was going good for her. Her husband had a little small townhome or condo, whatever it was, and he happened to have a spare room. And there was an elder and his wife that were struggling financially. They couldn't find a place to live, so he opened the door for them to stay at his place. The months go by, everything's all fine and dandy. Everybody in the Kingdom Hall is praising this elder for opening up the door and helping out a fellow brother and a sister. So everything was good, he was a hard worker. He was a mechanic. He'll spend long hours during the day working, and at night he'll do his duties as an elder. He'll stay after the meetings all the way till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night just to, help out the community. And it so happened to be when both elders were working hard, for Jehovah and working hard to provide for their family, these two sisters had other intentions. They would go to service together. They were prime examples of what an elder's wife should be. They were an example of what a regular pioneer should be. Monday through Friday, through Saturday and Sunday, they'll be out in service, out there spreading God's word. It so happened to be that this one time, a little small sister, a younger sister was with them at the time. And the elders' wives needed to go to the restroom, and since they were in a territory that was close to their home, they decided to go to their home and use a restroom, get something to drink, and the little sister was there with them. She was around 9 or 8 at the time. She was really little. So they happened to go upstairs, and the little sister ended up using the restroom, but I guess she didn't open the door loud enough. So when she walked out, she saw the two elders' wives making out with each other and touching the breast. So this little sister screamed for her life when she saw these two older sisters making out with each other. These elders' wives making out with each other, touching each other. And the elders' wife's excuse was, oh, it's because she has something down her shirt. It was a bug and I was trying to help her. But they were making out, and this little sister, as soon as she got dropped back off, she went running towards her mom, and she told her mom, I saw these two sisters making out. They were making out in front of me and they were touching each other. So, as a responsible parent that the mom actually was, she went to the elders. And it so happened to be that those two elders were the ones that were running the congregation. So when they interviewed this little sister to try to get the details, they didn't believe her. They said that she was using her imagination and no such thing had ever occurred. The two elders' wives, 2 against 1, 2 witness rule, claimed that the sister had something down her shirt and the other sister was assisting her. So the mother of the child got really upset because she knew that her daughter was not a liar. She knew that off the bat. She was my sister's best friend. They used to talk, and she knew that her daughter would not lie about those things. So they left the congregation. They left the congregation because they didn't do nothing about it. So a few months go by after all this had occurred. You know how it is inside the Kingdom Hall and the organization. Everything spreads like wildfire. Everybody knew about what happened and all that, and why the sister and her daughter left the congregation and all this stuff, right? They all knew. A few months passed by. And the elders were still working hard, still working for Jehovah. The sisters were still going to service, being good old regular pioneers. Nothing was done to them, no consequences, no punishment, nothing. Okay? This one day, this elder got off work early. And it was around noon. He usually gets home around 4:30, 5:30. So he got home at noon. Kind of snuck in, you could say. And as he opened the door, he kind of noticed that everything was empty in the living room, and he looked around and he opened the door and he didn't see his wife in the room. And he didn't make noise, or maybe the other people were too loud. And when he opened the door of where the elder and the wife were staying at the room, he saw both his wife and the other sister naked on top of each other doing it. The elder stood in shock, and the two sisters were in shock too, and they were like, it's not what it seems like. It's not what it seems like. But the whole congregation knew. We didn't believe them since the very first start. It's sad that a family, a mom and daughter, had to leave the congregation because the elders didn't want to do nothing. But eventually, karma comes around, and the elder caught both his wife and the elder's wife doing it with each other. And check this out. Nothing was done to them because they used the excuse that their husbands don't pay attention to them, because they're so focused doing God's work that there's nobody home. It was just me and her. We found each other attractive, and that's why we started touching each other, and one thing led to another, and voila. And that's not the end of this story, man. So the elder and the wife ended up leaving the elder's house, of course, and the brother tried to work on his marriage. And we all knew, the whole congregation knew, that she was a nasty little girl. We all knew that. But her privileges were not removed. She was still the same. She was still going to service, still doing God's work, still attending all the meetings. Monday through Sunday, you'll catch her preaching God's word. Nothing was done. Just recently, a few years ago, probably like 2 years ago, the same sister, the same elder. Turns out that this sister had a double life. She had another family behind the elder's back. She literally had another freaking family in another city. But guess what happened to her? Nothing. Nothing happened to her because she used the excuse that she's going through depression. She's going through that, and the elders believed it. Why? Because that was the elder's wife. You can't make an elder look bad, you gotta cover things up. That's the way the organization is ran. So she had a double life, man. She had another family. She slept with my friend at the time where I used to live. She slept with a girl, like another sister, for so many years, I bet. She had another life, and no privileges were removed. No severe privileges. And that being said, if you have a beard, you could get your privileges removed. Just think about that. So, the story of this elder and his wife really shows that the organization has favoritism, And it's sad to see the sister and her daughter leave the congregation because of the two witness rules. These sisters were lying off their teeth until they got caught. And sadly, the sister that moved out of the congregation with her daughter, she passed away a few years ago. And I know deep down inside, she knew that they were wrong. But she took it in the chin and she just kept moving forward. And it's crazy to see the secrecy that goes on within the congregations, within the organization. It's crazy to see how things can be hidden. I've seen people lose everything over a small little thing. There's been people that have committed suicide over smaller things. But this sister had an elder. And through that elder, she was able to get away with a lot of things. And she's still a regular pioneer. She's just living her day to day. She's still serving the organization. She's still serving God. She's still doing her time. What else is she hiding? But it's just crazy to see, man. There's connections within the organization. You could get your way out of things. Peace out, guys.